This is Cicero's In Catilinam Oratio Prima, chapter 9. And Cicero says, Nunc ut a me patres conscripti, quandam prope iustam patriae querimoniam detester ac deprecer, percipite quaeso diligenter, quae dicam, et ea penitus animis vestris mentibusque mandate. Etenim si mecum patria, quae mihi vita mea multo est carior, si cuncta Italia, si omnis res publica loquator? Marce Tulli, quid agis? Tu ne eum, quem esse hostem comperisti, quem ducem belli futurum vides, quem expectari imperatorem in castris hostium sentis, actorem sceleris, principem coniurationis, evocatorem servorum et civiem perditorum, exiri patiere, ut abste non emissus ex urbe, sed immissus in urbem esse videatur. Non ne hunc in vincula duci, non ad mortem rapi, non summo supplicio mactari imperabis. So we'll start with nunc, now. Ut a me, ut, it's going to be either followed by the indicative or the subjunctive. We don't know yet. I'm going to guess the subjunctive, but I can always change my answer when I go back over it. So I'll say so that. A me, this is ab, so from, separation, plus the ablative, or by, as in personal agent. So both take the ablative, so I'm going to assume that me is the ablative. Patres conscripti, remember that there's a lost et, patres et conscripti, so fathers and enrolled, meaning that the original patricians who, the original families that came to Rome under Romulus, those are the patres, the fathers, and then the conscripti are the plebeians that have been enrolled into their membership. And it's in the vocative, so this is the usual address, so gentlemen of the Senate, if you want to be extremely formal. Quandam, that is quam plus dam, D-A-M, so in front of the D, that M in quam becomes an N, quandam, so qui quae quod plus dam. So quidam, quaedam, quodam means a certain, some. Prope, here it means nearly, sometimes means nearby, close to, plus the accusative. Here it's an adverb, nearly iustam. Iustam is linked with quandam. Both of them are going to agree with the noun querimoniam coming up. Iustam from justus means just. So it's being modified by the adverb prope. So a nearly just, an almost just, not quite just enough. Patriae, the genitive, it could be dative or nominative plural. I'm going to guess it's genitive of patriae, feminine, fatherland, the homeland. That's right, kids. Your favorite apostrophe is back. Your favorite non-existent witness has returned to talk about not how evil Catiline is, but how wrong Cicero is. She's come to berate Cicero. And the thing that he did wrong was not kill Catiline. So for the first time the patria showed up, it was, wow, Catiline, you are so bad. Remember, she was like a worried mother, like a parent who is worried over their evil and errant child. Like, like the mother believes that the child is trying to murder her, parricide. And now we're going to berate Cicero. The patria is going to, not exactly happy with Cicero, but Cicero's problem, Cicero's crime, so to speak, is that he has not acted quickly enough to dispatch Catiline. And that is the complaint that Cicero is now trying to detester ac deprecer, and complaint is the querimoniam. So querimoniam is a complaint a query, sort of like a quarrel, a wrangle, and belongs to the patria. And we have detester, deprecer. Those are first-person singular. You don't see those very often. Present subjunctives, and they're deponent verbs, both of them. And detester means to avert by protest. You can see test in there, so witness. So avert by, I call everyone to witness this. I object to this. Ac deprecer, deprecor means to avert by prayer. Preces means to a prayer, a propitiate. So to avert by prayer, by the divine. So I wish to avert by protest and by prayer. Just go ahead and translate those two verbs kind of as one. Detester ac deprecer, it's kind of like in deities. To avert by protest and prayer, a quandam prope iustam querimoniam patriae, a certain prope iustam, nearly just, nearly righteous complaint of the patria. And the reason that detester and deprecer are subjunctives is the ut. Those are present subjunctives, so we are in primary sequence, so that it's a purpose clause. Percipite. So if we have an imperative like we do here, plural imperative, plural command, percipite, basically it stands in for audite, listen. Listen and fully understand. Pay attention. I would probably translate it as pay attention. It's a compound of per capio, thoroughly sees. So really, like, straighten up and listen. It's an imperative, so a main verb imperative will kick us into primary sequence, so that's why we have the present subjunctives there. Pay attention, quaeso, and then we have the quaeso. You can translate this as please. I beg, I ask. Pay attention, I ask. Patres conscripti. So that I may avert by protest and by prayer a certain nearly, almost righteous complaint of the patria. She was almost correct in complaining about this one thing that I did. But you know what? Almost, not quite, counts only in horseshoes and hand grenades. Diligenter, diligently, adverb modifying percipite. So diligently, carefully listen, carefully pay attention. Quaeso, I beg of thee, I ask thee, please. Quae dicam, to the things which, what I shall say. Et ea penitus, animis vestris, mentibusque mandate. And mandate, another plural imperative, and entrust, or I could even say at this point, inscribe, quae dicam, the things that I will say, penitus, quae dicam, percipite, take up quae dicam, pay attention fully to what dicam I shall say. Quae dicam is an indirect question introduced by the interrogative quae. Once again, it's present subjunctive because we have the primary imperative mood, percipite, primary sequence. Take up, pay fully attention to what I shall say, what I shall say, et ea, that's the direct object of mandate, and entrust those things, plural accusative neuter. Penitus means deep within, inside. Animis takes the dative, animis vestris mentibusque, into your, remember we're talking to the patres conscripti, plural. There are very many gentlemen in the Senate that day. So we have vester, vestra, vestrum, vestris, your plural. Your, mine, your animus and mens mentis, I would say hearts and minds. We have that phrase in English. So inscribe these things deep within your hearts and minds. So percipite et mandate. Pay careful attention, diligenter percipite. Quaeso, please, to what I shall say, and inscribe them deep within your hearts and minds. And he wants to do this so that he can detester, avert by protest and prayer, a certain almost righteous complaint of the patria. Etenim is just a compound of et and enim for and, just a stronger conjunction. Or for if. Yeah, it's for if. For if si mecum patria, for if the patria, the homeland, mecum. This is going to work with the main verb loquator. So if my homeland could speak with me, quae, mihi, vita, mea, multo est carior. Vita, the macron should be over the a, and as well with mea, macron over the a. So vita, mea, those are ablatives. Mihi is the dative. Quae is starts the relative clause. Quae mihi, vita, mea, multo est carior. Quae links back to patria, and which the homeland, the fatherland, the motherland, the you'd say home country, which to me the vita mea are ablatives of comparison. Multo is an ablative of degree of difference. Est carior, because we have the comparative carior. The homeland, quae, which est carior is dear mihi to me, mihi being the dative with the adjective. Carior is dearer to me. Multo is the degree of difference, how much the homeland is dearer to me. And it's dearer by much. If it were by a little bit, it's a little bit dearer to me than my own life. It would be paulo est carior, little bit, paulo. Here we have multo, like mucho, which is much dearer to me, vita mea, than my own life, the patria, which is much dearer to me than my own life. If my fatherland could speak, if my homeland could speak with me, my homeland which is dearer to me than my own life. Si cuncta Italia, if all of Italy, loquator, could speak mecum with me. Si omnis res publica loquator, if all of the republic, if the whole government, the whole political system could speak with me. And then you have to imply this is what the patria, this is what she would say. Marque Tulli quid agis. Marcus Tullius, what are you doing? Tu ne, and that looks odd because it looks like the English tune, but that's tu and ne. So it's tu, you, which for pretty much the rest of the speech, tu refers contemptuously to Catiline, usually paired with iste, contemptuously, and you damn idiot, or you bastard. Here we have tu being referred to you, Marcus Tullius, and it doesn't quite have that contemptuous, maybe a berating tone, but not as contemptuous and loathing as it is for Catiline. The ne is the enclitic to indicate a question, like the upside down question mark at the beginning of a question in Spanish. So we know where we have a question being asked here. And it is second person singular, so you. And we'll cheat, it is future. So will you? Will you? Tune, will you? Eum, accusative direct object of the verb that is famously for Cicero quite near the end. So we'll hold on to that for now. But eum here does refer to Catiline, him, that guy. Quem, the relative, it relates back to eum and the antecedent. Both are accusative singular masculine. Whom esse hostem comperisti. Whom comperisti, whom you have discovered, comperisti, you've discovered esse hostem to be an enemy of the state, as opposed to an inimicus. So Catiline and Cicero never really got along. They've been inimici, personal rivals, enemies, personal feuding between themselves. But now Cicero has discovered you, Marcus Tullius, the patria says, you have discovered him to be an enemy of the state, a hostis. He should be executed for that. Quem dulcem belli futurum vides, whom vides you see right now. You are looking at him. You can see him right now. You see him as a dulcem, a leader, belli futurum, a future leader of war. He will be soon to be a leader of war, whom you will soon see to be a leader of war. Quem expectari imperatorem in castris hostium sentis. Quem, whom expectari imperatorem in castris hostium sentis, whom you sense, you realize, is expectari, is awaited as the general in the camp of the enemy. Auctorem, remember all of these accusatives are referring back to eum, which is standing in for Catiline. Auctorem, the author, which means that the progenitor, the person who created it, the creator of sceleris, of crime, of wickedness, the author of crime, the principem, the prince, the leader of the conspiracy, the prince of the conspiracy, the evocatorem. You can see, excuse me, evoco, evocator, so the tor, the agency suffix. So the caller out of, better English word, recruiter. A recruiter of slaves et civium perditorum, and of lost citizens. Exiri patiere, and there we have the verbs. So all of that was just hinging upon eum. And you can see by, what was that? If you said anaphora, you're correct. Quem, quem, quem. And then we have more accusatives, actorem, principem, evocatorem. And all of them link back to eum. They're very descriptive words. We've got hostem, ducam, belli, we've got imperatorem in castris hostium, auctorem sceleris, principem, congratulationis. All these are quite slanderous. And then exiri patiere. Exire is an infinitive that hinges upon patiere, and patiere is a stand-in for Cicero's favorite ere ending for the future imperfect and subjunctive. He likes the aorist ending for the present tense. So beforehand he said interficiere for interficieris. He said abutere for abuteris. Whereas in other places he does use the aorist form, like teneris. Here we have patiere instead of patieris. Will you, patior pati, allow, suffer, endure? And that goes with the tune eum. Will you allow eum, him, to leave, exire, to depart, to go away? Quem, eum quem, a man whom you have discovered to be an enemy of the state, whom you see now as a leader of a war to come, whom you realize is awaited as the general in a camp of the enemy, an author of crime, a prince of conspiracy, a recruiter of slaves and lost citizens. Ut abste non emissus ex urbe, sed emissus in urbem esse videatur. So notice the emissus and the imimissus. This is another example of paronomasia, that is pun, and homoteleoton, which is Greek for same sounding endings. So the endings sound the same. So we have emissus and immissus. The difference between them is, of course, their prefixes. So we have emissus, which means ex, so out of, and immissus, which is in, upon. And you can also see their respective prepositions working with them. Emissus ex urbe, immissus in urbem. So we're doing a play on this. Back to ut. Ut abste. Abs is just ab, so from you. It's just the archaic form. By you or from you. Here it's by you, personal agent, te being the ablative. And of course, you in this instance. This is still the patria talking. So that is referring to Cicero. Not emissus, not sent out ex urbe of the city, but immissus, but set loose in urbem upon the city, esse videatur. So will you endure him to leave, that guy who did all that stuff that we said? Ut, so that he seems to not have been emissus, sent out, cast out of the city by you, but to be set loose upon the city by you. So that he seems to be not sent out of the city, but sent out, but set loose upon the city. And there's that play of sent out versus set loose. Will you allow him this guy who's done all this bad stuff that you see that he will do all this stuff, will you allow him to just leave so that he will then be set loose upon the city? Marcus Tullius, why are you not just seizing him right now? Why have you not executed him over 2 weeks ago? Marcus Tullius, what are you doing? Quid agis? Nonne hunc in vincula duci. And here we have tricolon crescens. We have 3 things, 3 cola. In vincula duci, ad mortem rapi, summo supplicio mactare. All of them hinge upon imperabis. Nonne, this is they're asking a question again. That's what the enclitic ne is doing there with non, not. Will you not? We're expecting a yes answer to this question. Will you, Marcus Tullius, imperabis, will you not order hunc him, this man, this guy who did all that bad stuff, this hostem, this ducem, this imperatorem, will you not order him, duci in vincula, to be led into chains, vincula being a syncopated form of vincula, non, repeating the non, so it's anaphora again, non imperabis, will you not order him hunc to be rapi, ad mortem, to be taken away, and that's a violent taken away, to be seized and taken away, led into chains, to be seized and taken away to death. Non summo supplicio mactare imperabis, will you not order him to suffer the supreme punishment, summo supplicio, and that just means the death penalty. Will you not order him to suffer the death penalty?